Honda Jazz has taken a place in the heart of a certain demographic for some time, but it's more modern looking and has the same dependable character at its heart. While the Jazz isn't the most exciting option, with hatchbacks like the Ford Fiesta, Volkswagen Polo, and Vauxhall Corsa being more interesting to drive, it's more like going with a comfortable cotton chino than a stylish skinny jean. The design of the Jazz is quite streamlined, with a sleek face and a curved line to join the headlights up, while you have sharp lines down the sides and smoothed-off alloy wheels to help with aerodynamics. There are some modern aspects inside too, with different materials adding texture to the cabin. You'll also find plenty of equipment and a more lounge-like feel that's more comfortable than other hatchbacks, while the windows are large, allowing in lots of light. In the back, adults will be more than happy with lots of headroom and legroom, while you can fold the seat bench up to create an excellent storage space if you're moving things or had a particularly fruitful shopping trip. The boot isn't the largest compared to its alternatives, but with the magic seats in the back and a useful opening with a low load lip to help get things in, the Jazz is the most practical small hatchback option, especially more so than the sportier-looking Volkswagen Polo and Ford Fiesta. You only have one power option, a hybrid 1.5-liter petrol paired to two electric motors, sending all 122 horsepower to the front wheels. The power system switches seamlessly between petrol and electric drive, and unless you're really trying, you won't notice the petrol engine until you need to accelerate hard. When you take the Jazz around town, you'll find it has light steering, comfortable suspension, and excellent visibility. It runs a lot of the time on electric power, which is smooth, and you can turn on a harsher brake regeneration mode to help charge the battery up. Going on the motorway is a fairly serene experience too, apart from when you're accelerating, that is. There's not too much wind or road noise to deal with, and it's a nice place to be in, especially as adaptive cruise control is standard. You won't find the Jazz particularly fun on a twisty road, as it's more set up to get you from A to B in the most comfort. It's less settled here and feels like it skips around when you go over bumps. The Honda Jazz is a very comfortable car that's practical for families or those who need to get around in peace, but just don't expect a lot of excitement in terms of driving and the interior finish. The Honda Jazz has a recommended retail price range of £26,000 to £28,000. However, with CarWow you can save on average £1,300. Prices start at £25,000 if paying cash. Monthly payments start at £350. The price of a used Honda Jazz on CarWow starts at £15,000. Being hybrid only and being a bit more premium than its alternatives, the Honda Jazz is more expensive than the Ford Fiesta, Vauxhall Corsa, Peugeot 208, and Volkswagen Polo. What those cars don't offer is excellent safety assistance systems as standard alongside high levels of equipment, while the Jazz is more practical in terms of different storage layouts. Driving the Honda Jazz in town is a pleasant experience on the whole. The steering is light to make maneuvering and parking a simple exercise, with the turning circle just 10.1 meters on the Elegance trim and 10.7 meters on both the Advance and Advanced Sport models. That's on par with its main alternatives. The suspension is comfort-focused and allows the Jazz to soak up almost all the cracks and bumps in the road, unless there's a larger pothole. You won't hear or feel many rattles either. You'll be happy to hear that there's also good visibility all around. The large front window helps you look out over the front corners, while there are large wing mirrors and large windows either side. The hybrid setup suits in town as the electric motors do most of the heavy lifting. That allows for good acceleration from junctions, while you won't notice too much when the petrol engine is needed to drive the wheels. There's a CVT automatic transmission, so you won't have to worry about changing gears either. Putting the brake regeneration mode on makes things easier as well, as you can drive mostly with the accelerator alone. While the resistance levels under deceleration put energy back into the battery. The paddles you'll find behind the steering wheel on the advanced sport model can adjust how much rigging there is, and the highest level is close to one-pedal driving. You'll need to use the brake to stop fully though. With the comfort focus for the suspension, you'll find that long drives in the Jazz are easy to do. There's little wind and road noise to be worried about, as there's good sound insulation and the wheels only go up to 16-inch alloys, which don't emit much noise compared to larger wheels. Adaptive cruise control is fitted across the Jazz range, making long motorway journeys or shunting along in traffic a lot easier than if it wasn't included. Lane Keep Assist helps you stay in lane, while Emergency Brake Assist is there to save you too. With the electric motors giving instant torque, you can get on the way to motorway speed before the petrol motor needs to kick in. The engine drones a lot when you're accelerating, but when you're cruising it quietens down and you can drive in near peace. With the sport mode engaged, the steering weight goes up a little and there's more responsiveness from the throttle. That doesn't change the characteristics of the Jazz much though, as it's not the most fun to drive on a twisty road, especially when compared to a Volkswagen Polo or a Ford Fiesta. Being a lot taller than lower-sitting alternatives, there's more body lean to deal with and you'll find it's easier to push wider through a corner if you're driving harder, not like you would with a Jazz anyway. While the suspension is great at soaking up bumps almost everywhere, if you're cornering and hit a sizable bump, the Jazz will skip a little. That'll show you that keeping it cool and calm like the rest of the Jazz's character will set you right, rather than trying to hustle it down a back road. The cabin of the Jazz is spacious for passengers and practical for storage, but the boot itself is a little small. Honda has done a great job of making the Jazz's cabin as practical as possible, considering its rather modest dimensions. Just in the front part of the cabin, there are multiple cubbies and places to store things, while the seats themselves are comfortable, trimmed in cloth and synthetic leather, with a smattering of ultra suede in the advanced sport model. You have plenty of adjustment with the seats, and because there's so much headroom above, you can jack the seat up or sit much lower depending on your preference. There's angle and reach alteration for the steering column too, meaning it's easy to get comfy. Storage up front is also good, as you have large door bins, cup holders in the center console and at either end of the dashboard, a space under the central armrest and 2 glove boxes on the passenger side. There's also a place for your smartphone below the central touchscreen, which houses 2 USB chargers. For the latest and most detailed information regarding Honda Civic production, including specific figures, technological advancements, and sustainability initiatives, it's recommended to like and subscribe so you do not miss the latest Honda Civic news.